to the Soulfully podcast. I'm Fox.
I'm Kelz.
And together we're the Hunts and the Soulfully podcast. So this is going to be our first video podcast that we're doing in conjunction with our radio podcast. If you haven't followed us, please like, comment, subscribe. And also you can find our podcast, the radio edit of this, on the Anchor app, and as well as iTunes, Google Play, anywhere that podcasts are, we're there, Spotify, all that. So, hi, Kelz.
Hey, babe. Pardon the shades, y'all. I don't usually do this, but sleep hasn't come easy. I've been dealing with a loss of a very dear friend of mine, so I'll be covered up this time.
Yeah, you'll get to see her eyes and stuff next time. She's it's been a very emotional and trying week for us, but we needed to do a podcast. It was time. You guys have been asking for it, and shout out to Kira, who told us that we need to do video ones because she was a visual person and she needed to see them visually. So here we are. So today we are going to be talking about where we are today, like just emotionally. Last time that you guys heard us on the radio, you know, we were in a relationship. We were in a triad. Since then, that has dissolved. No bad blood, just is what it is. We just couldn't kind of like agree on certain things and ideals, and so, you know, eventually you just realize like, okay, well, maybe we're not as compatible as we thought, and versus this getting ugly, let's just go ahead and just end the situation. How do you feel?
It's been up and down, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had a conversation earlier.
We did.
And, well, we pretty much discovered that we feel the same.
Yeah.
And that is when there is a connection beyond physical, especially when you connect with someone emotionally and spiritually. It's a different kind of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we have gone through this process a couple of times. And that was something that we discussed earlier. We won't name names, but this past relationship, we actually had a discussion very recently in the group, actually, and someone was asking about ghosting, and I was like, wow, is that cool, you think? Because that was kind of what happened with this relationship. I feel like once you get to a point where conversation is non-existent and any issues that's brought about is kind of swept under the rug, ignored, or made to feel like it's overbearing, over time, it kind of wears on you. And I can't say for Fox, but that's pretty much what happened with me. And just seeing how she was handled in this last relationship, that just wasn't going to fly with me. And so instead of bringing the last issue to him, I felt like it was best to just cut it off.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like as adults, at some point, you realize that maybe your communication style is not the same. And not only is it not the same, but you get tired of like really repeating the same thing over and over again to a person that says that they understand. And one thing that I don't like at all is disrespect. And I definitely hate public disrespect. Like, if there's something that you do behind closed doors and I say to you, I don't like that, then, that's one thing, because then we can discuss it right then. But if you're publicly doing things that are disrespectful and against, the boundaries that we have set in place for our relationship and dynamic, then I feel that, maybe this isn't necessary. Maybe we're not really on the same page. And so when it comes to dating and vetting, it is something that is very purposeful for us. And so when someone starts to go outside the lines of that purpose, and you've already addressed it, a few times, I think eventually you just have to say, you know what, maybe this is not right, and I need to pull myself back, because I don't want to end up hurt. Like, I don't want to end up hurt beyond like where I'm like trying to pick myself up off the ground. And it was a very this breakup was I would say it was probably more so hard for me than it was Kelz. Like, she handled it very well, and she was very patient, understanding with me. Like, I think in this breakup, well, I know in this breakup, I was like very emotional. My feelings were definitely very real. My feelings still are definitely very real. However, my love for self and the respect that I have for the relationship that I have already established um, is is going to take precedence, because I can't allow you to treat me any type of way. And I don't think that anyone should. I don't think that you should be okay with people treating you a certain type of way. There are times, even with she and I, where we'll tell each other, like, don't talk to me like that, or, I don't like that, and you should be able to do that, especially in polyamory. The thing is being transparent, and there was a lack of transparency that started to begin to show forth. And you don't have to hide, you don't have to lie, you don't have to cheat, you don't have to be dishonest when it comes to polyamory. And that's one of the things that we really talk about a lot in Soulfully Poly, which is being transparent and the importance of it, and how much healthier your relationships are going to be once you understand that with transparency, communication evolves, and all of those things.
Absolutely. Um, and so, it's crazy because we get attention, inboxes, comments, texts from old things, like, you name it, it happens. And in all honesty, there's no spark. There is a couple that we converse with, and they are so dope. We both dig them individually, together, but they so far for one, and we're so busy, and they're so busy, that, to be honest, it's probably only going to be friendship, and honestly, we're okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else, it's just been nothing.
Yeah.
No interest, no kick it.
It just seems to be like they're we have talked about, the most recent relationship, and then we talked about the one prior to that, and both of them were with males. And so there was a deep connection there with both of those individuals. There was a love there, and that love is always going to be there. Like, we're going to always love them, period. However, it's so hard for us, and we say this in the group, we say this on our page all the time, that what we what we desire is so rare and what we desire is so raw that it's hard for people to really understand it, pick it up, or even really display it, and then, what we find out, early on, like one thing that's like really a turn off is like within the first conversation, talking about sex, like that's not really like a turn on for us. It's kind of like a turn off for real. And we're easily like, yeah, no. Because we're just so beyond that, like where we're at in this phase in our poly journey is really about laying foundational steps and, making like solid, genuine connections and friends, because ultimately, we really do want a tribe and have a community, and like we all live together and really have that bond and stuff like that and grow like that. So not many people, a lot of people say they want that, but a lot of people don't, their actions don't align with it. And that's what I was trying to get to, alignment. A lot of people don't align with the things that we necessarily desire in a partner or partners, because we're not close. I think at this time we have come to terms with that. Like we're probably not going to be in a closed dynamic. It may be a more open dynamic. Like we probably will be a triad eventually, but we're not afraid to add more partners to that. As long as everyone's safe and there's that level of respect. And I think that we're evolving in our poly journey. Like we're totally evolving in our poly journey.
Definitely. It's not all bad. It's definitely a lot of learning experiences. And that's good for what we want eventually. That will come. And I think that these experiences are preparing us for what's to come that we actually do desire. So I'm not mad at that. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Going off a little bit.
No, I was like, where did I like? So this is our first video. We touched on that. This is our first video. And so one of the things that we just kind of want to give you guys an insight to who we are, the ones who have not known us, the ones who are going to come to this channel for the first time and see us. Kelz and I have been together for going on, it was 3.5 years. It'll be 4 years very soon. Well, soon enough.
April.
It will be 4 years. And, we have evolved so much in this relationship, and we had some tough times. Like, let's not paint the picture that everything has been cookie crunch, because baby, we wanted to drag each other a time or two. So, but the most important thing that has really happened for us is we made a decision at the beginning of the year that we were either going to go all in and fully commit to this relationship, or we were going to allow each other to go our separate ways in peace. And we just realized that like we truly did love each other beyond anything that we had dealt with in the past.
And we were never going to really go in peace.
We were never really going to go in peace. Because we both a little cuckoo, right? And so, yeah, it went out. But we were going to give it a good attempt, let me tell you.
I was.
She a Scorpio, don't believe the hype. She was going to give it a good attempt. But, you can still see like all of your emotions through your eyebrows. So funny.
As long as you see me.
So, but we decided that like we wanted to really fully commit to our relationship. And once we did that and we realized that it was really us against the world and we were teammates and partners, everything just started to make sense. It was like we weren't fighting against each other. It wasn't this is your money, this is my money. It was like, this is ours together. This is what we're doing together. This is not your car or my car. This is our car. It's like it became like that, and everything became more about like how we were gonna, succeed and continue to progress in the world together in a relationship. And so when we came up with Soulfully Poly, we actually came up with Soulfully Poly over a year ago. And I as we were talking, I was like, we should go into business together. Like, we should start setting some foundational steps so that, all the things that we discussed, and she's come to me and said, this is what I desire for our family. This is what I desire for our lives together. Like, how do we get there? And so Soulfully Poly came back up around, and I was like, hey, you still trying to do this poly thing? Cause like I'm okay now. Like, I ain't cuckoo. Like, I think I might can share you a little. So she was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, and it took some steps. We go to therapy. We definitely advocate for therapy, and we say that, if you feel like your relationship is at that point where it's like everything is great, but you might have those little things that you guys need to work on, go to therapy, because they will help you. It will help you talk about those things that you might not feel, as comfortable, or, to just talk to your partner about, and having that person there to say, well, because sometimes we don't look at ourselves and we don't take accountability for our own shit. And so a therapist will tell you, well, did you look at yourself when you did that? Did you consider how that would make that person feel? And so, it was vital, and it was the thing that really like snapped us back into place and got us back on track. And it felt really good to be able to have those tough conversations, because you don't want to shy away from those. Those are vital. They are so vital in your relationship to have those tough conversations.
And I want to add too, even if you feel like you are seasoned and everything is great,
and you know everything, because
yeah,
like,
you know everything.
They know everything.
Yeah, you know everything. Still go to therapy. None of us know everything. Let's just be clear. No matter how much you think you know, or how much you know, or how much reading and schooling you've done, you don't know it all.
Therapists have therapists.
And you'd be surprised. Oh yeah, and you'd be surprised at the things that that you learn about yourself. You learn about the world. You learn about your partner. Like I said, if you think you know it all, we've
learned stuff about each other.
And I'm still learning about me. I'm still learning about me at 33. About to be 34. And I'm still going to be learning about me at 50. And I'm still going to be learning about Fox when she's 50. Because we are constantly evolving and not necessarily changing, but definitely evolving. And I definitely just recommend it. Please go.
Absolutely. So what else we got going on? We got quite a few events going on, guys. And we have so much going on.
Bar with us.
Yeah. So on November 6th, excuse me, we will be in Houston for our Soulfully Poly Houston meetup. It's going to be at Bowl and Barrel. Bowling lanes. And if you go to soulfullypoly.com, you'll be able to see all of that. If you're add us on Facebook, you can friend request us on Soulfully Poly. We have a Facebook group, group/Soulfully Poly. If you don't answer all the questions, we're gonna decline your request. I'm just gonna be honest.
Well, you'll just sit there until you feel like you want to
answer all the questions. So we have a limited amount of space left in the group. We are capping the group at 1,000 members. If you want to continue and still be a part of it, you can go to soulfullypoly.com, because we do have our own individual groups at soulfullypoly.com. People are so stuck on Facebook that they don't know how to pull away from it. But we would prefer for everyone to go over to soulfullypoly.com and join the groups that we have in there, because they are specifically for polyamorous people. They're quads, there are triads, there are solo polys. Like, we have groups for everyone there.
BDSM, because we know that's going to bring y'all in.
Yep, BDSM and poly. We have pride, people that are LGBTQIA and poly. We have a group for you all as well. So it's a comforting place, and it's your own platform. So don't shy away from it. Bear with it as it continues to grow, because everything always happens. Even though we have the beautiful world of social media, it's still word of mouth, and the group does so well. We're constantly, like, we have over 100 and something people waiting to get in, and we're constantly, like, we do a lot of vetting for our group, because it's all about quality with us. Like, we want to make sure that we're having events that people can enjoy. It's adult events. It's grown. It's
something different.
It's something different. We're not just getting together having drinks. It's not that. We're going to actually have activities. We're going to travel. We have the Soulfully Poly Fall Retreat is coming up at the end of the month, October 29th to November 1st. Next April, we'll be doing the Soulfully Poly Spring Retreat. We're going to be going away to Puerto Rico. So we have things in line. You guys have to follow us on soulfullypoly.com in order to stay in the loop for all things polyamory. November, what is it? 20th.
Listen, y'all have so many days.
Okay. November 20th. I know. November 20th, we will be in Chicago. We are going ice skating with our SFP family in Chicago. We also have exclusive merch on soulfullypoly.com. A lot of people were worried about how the shirts will look because it has a big logo. But as you can see, these are the shirts.
Yeah, get back in here now.
Okay. These are the shirts. I've washed this shirt and it still has its color. It still looks good. It's still vibrant. So, aside from the little makeup that I just did that, but aside from that, the shirts are now on sale starting at $18.99. They were $24.99. So they're at $18.99. 20% of all of our proceeds goes towards our community outreach initiatives, where we are fighting against homelessness, sex trafficking, teen sex trafficking, and domestic violence against men, women, and children. So we're out here, like, it's just not about, it's really about community building for us, and we hope that you guys will really come along on the journey with us. Be supportive. Let's build together. Let's connect. Let's grow. Let's help each other businesses to grow. Let's start building into our own communities, because we need it and it's vital right now. Anything else, Pooh?
You can follow us, Soulfully Poly LLC, Instagram, Soulfully Poly on Twitter,
Soulfully Poly LLC on Facebook. You can find us.
Yeah, you can find us there too.
You can find us if you Google Soulfully Poly. All of our stuff's gonna come up. How about that? Like, if you Google Soulfully Poly, everything is gonna come up. For those for people who are interested in dating us,
get in line. No, I'm just
that sounds so bad. Not necessarily get in line, but
don't get in line. Don't get in line. Look, honestly, this is not. I probably shouldn't say this, but just shoot your shot. Yeah, just shoot your shot, and
be respectful.
Please.
And
make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Let me say that. Make it make sense before you shoot your shot. Make it make sense. Okay. You can clearly see, a lot of bit of what we're doing here. So, if your ambitions don't align with ours,
don't shoot your shot. Please.
Don't airball.
because I don't. We tend to be very honest with people, and sometimes it's not to hurt your feelings. It's definitely just so that you know, like, hey, baby, like, come on now, get it together, because we want to see everybody win. Like, it's so imperative for us that we see everybody win. And we truly love all the members of our group, even the ones that we don't see regularly and the ones that we do. We love all the members of our group. So, with that being said, like, if you see that people are in the group and they're like talking about their businesses and things that they have going on, like, let that be your motivation. You know what I'm saying? Especially before you hop in not just our inbox, anybody inbox. You know, you cannot be trying to date people and you don't have your shit semi together. You ain't got to have it all together, baby, but you got to have your shit, because we don't have it all together, but you got to have your shit semi together, and you got to be about something, have some purpose with your life, because otherwise you're gonna find yourself being one of those people that are in a group like, oh, nobody wants to talk to me. I've tried to make connections.
And if you don't talk,
you're not gonna connect with people. You have to talk. You have to connect.
How else are you gonna connect people? Come on. You know, be respectful. My emotions are all over the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, just do me a favor and just be respectful.
Yes.
You know,
we do not allow hate speech on our channel or in our groups or on our website. That's not who we are. You know, you can see we're two black girls, two black women, but and we don't hate everybody. So that's just what that is.
Period, poo.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think that we're good. So once again, guys, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for, shout out to the Soulfully Poly Elites.
For real though, cause y'all like, be having that.
Shout
Thank y'all,
out,
man, for coming through this week. Cause goodness, I've been a mess, but I'm you know, I try to reach out to my people today and just check in. And I know I haven't been quick on the responses to everybody reaching out and checking on me, but I appreciate y'all. Like I said, just bear with me. I have a hard time expressing myself, and I don't like to bring people down with me. So, you know, it's all love. Don't take it personal. Please don't take it personal. I promise you.
Yeah.
It's not personal. So.
Yeah, it's been a really rough week. We want to just keep Kelz and her friend and her friend's family in our thoughts, our mind, our hearts, and our prayers and meditations. You know, we're on a spiritual journey ourselves, so you know we're evolving, and you know that understanding of you know people that we love dearly passing away is not always, even though we have the understanding, it's not always easy to cope with the realization. And so it's just been one of those weeks, but continue to walk with us as we walk with you guys, and we appreciate you. Don't
Very
forget
much.
to follow us on everything at Soulfully Poly LLC. Add us on Facebook. We'll accept a friend request. We appreciate you all. We love you all. Thank you and good night.
Good night.